Hey guys, how's it going? It's Mark here, and I'm going to be doing a video on my Jeff White bush knife today. We're at a local park. There's some pretty nice woods in there behind us, but while I was walking I kind of found this stump here, and it's got some, if you break off the outer layer, the inside of it's pretty nice. I found this punk wood here, and I wanted to show you something. Whenever I'm looking for punk wood, I try to find punk wood that'll do this. See how it's kind of squishy, kind of returns? And I mean, once you char this stuff, or if it's perfectly dry, you could hit it with a ferrocerium rod and get a good ember off of it. But anyway, I just wanted to show you, a quick resource. I found a couple of nice pieces, so I'm going to take that with me and probably char it up on a later date. At this time of year, these woods are kind of hard to navigate in. The humidity really packs in down here, and if you check out, a lot of the rocks have moss, and it's a really rocky terrain. We got lots of hemlock, birch, pine. There's some poplar, yellow birch. We've got some balsam fir, but not too many. And some other hardwoods like maple and things. But walking through this ground, on this ground, is really tough. I mean, there's no real trail set in the place. You're just going to kind of blaze your way through it. And really take your time, because these mossy stones can be really, really slippery at times. So, the Jeff White bush knife, it's got curly maple handles. It's got a brass pin and a brass lanyard loop. It's 1095 carbon steel, and it's got a convex grind. My first opinions of this knife when I received it, I really like the looks of it. I think it looks pretty cool. The spine on the back is sharpened. So there's a few things I want to talk about this. First of all, it's comfort in the hand. I find the back end of the handle is quite comfortable. But the front end of the handle I find is a little bit small. I don't have really long fingers, but I got a really wide palm. So when I'm gripping it, it doesn't seem to, I don't know, it just doesn't really feel that comfortable to me. I prefer a little bit of a chunkier handle. This is my first convex grind. I'm a really huge Scandi fan, and so I wanted to give this a try. I heard that the Scandi grinds, the convex grinds are really good for chopping. I mean, it's basically what you would use on an axe. Out of the box, when I received this knife, most of the blade was really sharp, but there was a couple of flat spots in the edge, and I had to get those out. I mean, they were really tiny, but it took some while to get it out. I can't remember exactly what they said the Rockwell was, but I believe it was 59. I'll have to double check that for you, and if I'm wrong, I'll correct it in the description. They have been, I'll give you a close-up. Does have some hammer marks in it. Kind of looks cool, like a hand-forged knife. There we go. Give you a little close-up. I love the look of the handle. I love the wood. I just don't find it fits my hand very well. And maybe it's because of this thing and it's not rounded off and it's kind of square. I don't know, but I would have much preferred it to be a little chunkier in the handle. But it's got the maker from Jeff White, and it's also got the Pathfinder logo, because I bought this at Self-Reliance Outfitters, or the Pathfinder store. And As for the shipping and the customer service, if you're ordering, need equipment or whatever it is, order from them. They're great. They do an excellent job on their shipping. Everything's packed nicely, cleanly. When I ordered this, I also ordered a sheath from Hand-Sewn Leather. I'll give you a close-up of that. The sheath is pretty nice. It's also got the Pathfinder logo on it. It came with a ferro rod, but it had a little plastic handle on it. I didn't like it, so I broke it off and I put in a fat wood handle and epoxied it in. The retention, not so great. It falls out quite easily. But the sewing and the workmanship of it is quite nice. Seems to be put together real well. And there's the maker's logo. You can see it. Hand-Sewn Leather. Excellent quality. But it's kind of a sheath that's generic for many knives. So it's not so bad if you have it on your belt like this. But you know, if you're walking around or whatever it is and you happen to bend over, I mean, it really doesn't have great retention at all. Just kind of slips right out. And anyway, but it looks great on the belt, and I kind of like the sheath, but I gotta find a way to make it retain a little bit better. I think the first thing we gotta do with a nice chunky blade like this is we're gonna have to baton a couple of sticks here. I don't know what kind of wood this is, but it was very hard to saw through with the backhoe, so it's some kind of hardwood. We'll see if we can split that up a little bit, and then we'll put it through a couple of other tests that I think is necessary for a knife to be able to do. All right, so I have a piece of nasty bark here. I'm going to put this down just in case I happen to go all the way through and don't want to damage my knife on the rock. But there we go. Let's give that a try. Oh, just lost my baton. I don't know if you could see that, but there's no flat spots, rollovers, or anything on there. It's looking pretty good so far. So let's see how she does from some feathers. It does get some decent feathers on it. I thought it's a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be, but I find the width of the blade while you're pushing it kind of a little bit on the hard side to control. And we are doing feathers in some kind of hardwood, but I will say it did a pretty good job. That's not so bad. Pretty curly. Could be a little more thin, I think, but these are not so bad at all. That'll definitely work. Alright, let's try some notching. So, I do have a piece of birch here. This is going to be, you know, it's a harder wood to do, but there we go. It's about an inch, inch a quarter thick. And here's the hard part. So let's see if we can cut some notches into this and see how it goes. I mean, all things considered, I would be doing this normally with a softer wood, like a sapling or whatever it is. Because usually when I'm making notches, it's for a, you know, for cooking, and I find it's a little bit better to use green wood for that. But this is actually not so bad. Again, it's a little bit, I find it a little bit, you have to hold it kind of funny to get the control you want. But it did cut a notch pretty nice. Let's see if we can make like a pot hanger or something. Alright, so I'm going to give this another try. See if we can get a better notch inside here, like a pot hanger or something. Because these are... I tend to do a lot of carving, so I need to be able to rely on my knife to do small tasks. This is probably not the most comfortable knife to use for these kind of things, but it appears to be doing the job. The lever grip seems to be the way to go. But when I left the house today, I made sure that this was, you know, sharp enough to shave the hairs on your arm. Obviously, you can get a knife much sharper than that, but I think it might be overkill when you make your knife crazy sharp for certain tasks. If you're going to be batoning with it, you'll really kind of wreck your blade doing that. So, as we move along here a little bit, we were able to get some decent notches. But I will say that it probably wasn't the most comfortable way to do it, but it will get the job done. So let's see how the spine works, if it casts some sparks, and if it'll you know, scrape some dust from a branch. Alright, so I'm going to give this this branch some scrapes with the spine of my knife, and we'll see if we can collect a decent pile of dust. And I find a lot of people tend to go with the feather sticks all the time, but I'm more of a fan of scraping dust. I find it works quite well, and it's easy to ignite with a ferrocerium rod. So let's give it a try. There we go. Now, this is my go-to. This is my go-to. I know a lot of people like to do feather sticks. I like to beat the hell out of a branch with the spine of my knife. Look at those. It's pretty nice, eh? Let's see if we can get that to ignite with a ferrocerium rod. got it. Although the spine was able to light a ferro rod, it doesn't cast a spark as good as my Leatherman saw. But we were able to ignite it in really humid and wet conditions, which is pretty good. So basically I find it's a pretty acceptable knife. I wouldn't say it's exceptional or even great. There's a few things I don't like about it and a few things I do. The scraping of hardwood to ignite something works pretty well. The spine of the knife is pretty good, nice and strong. The steel's good. I'm a big fan of 1095, although it does take a little care to to keep it keep it from rusting and whatnot. The handle, I'm just really not big on the handle. I mean, holding it like this, it feels kind of okay, but when you're trying to do things and cut things with it, it tends to twist in your hand because it's got such a big belly on it. But that being said, it does ignite a ferrocerium rod. I'll give you another look at that again. You saw it there before, but it will shoot sparks, but not as good as my Leatherman rebar's little saw on there. That thing shoots sparks like no one's business, and it's kind of easier and smaller in the hand to control. But it batons wood real well. That was kind of humid or maybe wet hardwood that I cut, and I tried it out. Really well seasoned. It did a good job. I mean, even the backhoe took some work to get through it, so it's some pretty hard stuff. So I put it through its paces. All that being said, I will give it kind of a thumbs up and a half thumb. It will definitely do the job, and it will take a beating. But for doing really fine tasks and stuff, that I found the notches were a little bit difficult. It did get the job done, but again, I was using a really seasoned, dry, hard piece of birch, and it does get pretty hard, that wood, but it did do the job. So I can't give it a thumbs down for that, but it was kind of tough getting the work done on it. So I give that a one, and again, that's the reason why I give it a 1.5 thumbs. But all things considered, it's a very decent blade. If you're you need something tough and durable, this is the knife for you. But me personally, I think I'll keep something that's a little more comfortable. And has a better feel for the hand for my finer tasks like carving and whatnot. Anyway, guys, hope you liked the review. You guys take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Get out and explore.